Hey guys, this is Tali Berman, and last week I read you a little excerpt of this book that I'm reading, The Reason I Jump by Naoki Higashida. I think there's some really beautiful insights here into what the experience of a person with autism might be. Of course, this is his experience, and everyone with autism, I'm sure, and I know, has their own experience, but still it gives really incredible insight so that you as parents or professionals can maybe understand why your child or the child you work with does things. And so last week I spoke about the way that in this particular book, this boy describes his love of nature and the way that it's really healing for him. And I talked about the importance of really making that a part of your child's experience, the peace and the quiet and the harmony that can come from being in nature without any other ideas in mind, without any ulterior motive, that's the word, without any other ulterior motive except for letting your child just melt into the experience of nature. Now, there's one other thing, it's like a book review, but I want to share one other insight with you that I think would be really useful to have a real clear takeaway in terms of what he shares in his experience. And the question he answers this time is, what's the worst thing about having autism? And again, as I mentioned last time, this is from a boy who's 13 years old who has autism and communicates through tapping and able to communicate that way. And I thought this was a really interesting point. He writes, I'm sort of paraphrasing, I'm not reading the whole thing, but he writes, I ask of you, those of you who are with us all day, not to stress yourselves out because of us. When you do this, it feels as if you're denying any value at all that our lives may have. And that saps the spirit that we need to soldier on. The hardest ordeal for us is the idea that we are causing grief for other people. We can put up with our own hardships, okay, but the thought that our lives are the source of other people's unhappiness, that's plain unbearable. So I thought it was really interesting the way he describes that what's most challenging is knowing that they are creating at times real challenges for other people in their lives, their parents, their family members. And this goes along with something I say all the time, which is to assume competence, assume intelligence, assume understanding. Your child's ability or challenge to verbally communicate means nothing about his comprehension. Really, absolutely nothing. He or she understands exactly what's going on, all the nuances of your feelings in a stronger, more sensitive way than probably any of your other kids or any other members of your family. And so I wanted just to point this out as a way to, make aware for yourself. Do you talk about in front of your child or even to your child about how hard it is for you that he's autistic, about how the different challenges are so hard for you? And think about how that might impact your child. And the flip side of that, one other thing that you can really take away from this is really talking very directly, very, very directly with total respect in ways that I always recommend families to do, what I call straight talk, and say, hey, you know what? It is hard for me. Let's be honest. It's hard for me at times when you can't communicate what you want. Or it's hard for me when you have a meltdown and we're in public. But please know that as hard as it is for me, I value who you are. I love who you are. I value what you've contributed to my life. Make those things really clear to your child so that they don't necessarily have a disproportionate sense of all the hardship that they might be causing, but make sure that you're pointing out all that they're contributing to your life, all that they're contributing to your family's life, all the ways that they have deepened your experience in your life, and be very clear to them. Even if there is hardship, even if there's certain things about it that are hard for you, that despite that, what you have gained from their presence in your life makes all those things just like a drop in the bucket. And make sure that your child knows that. So today's video is really a plea to be very honest with your child in expressing how you value them exactly as they are, so they can know that for themselves. And based on the fact that you've read from this particular person, that knowing the hardship he might cause other people sometimes is what's really hard for him. So this can help really create more of an open communication channel between you and your child, but also offer your child the experience of feeling loved, feeling accepted, feeling valued and appreciated as they are with their challenges. Because he might not know that unless you say that directly on an ongoing basis. So tell your child today, every day, how much you love him, how specifically he has contributed to your life and the life of your whole family. You and your child will only benefit from that. So I would love to hear from you. Scroll on down. Is it something that you've done? And if not, how can you express to your child the way that you value who he is exactly how he is. So if you're watching a video anywhere but my blog, please go to www.taliberman.com. Scroll on down. I would love to know what you're taking from today's video.